Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you're listening around the world, a very warm welcome from London in the UK. Here is today's news in electric cars and the future of transport. My name is Martin Lee, and this is your EV News Daily for Monday, the 19th of March, 2018. Coming up on the show today, we'll talk about Porsche charging for their superchargers and 7 cars to keep Elon Musk awake at night. But first of all, well, last week was a busy week for Audi. As part of the VW Group announcements, the press days they were having of how each brand will electrify. We've got some more details about the e-tron QUATTRO SUV, as it now seems to be called. The e-tron has just been the Audi e-tron up until now, but as of their announcement of having some more cars coming, I think they had to add a bit more to the name e-tron. So it's now the e-tron QUATTRO SUV, which is due this year. Audi, of course, famous for their Quattro technology, with all-wheel drive coming from the world of rallying. So this is the car current Audi owners will probably want the most. It'll be the most affordable if 80,000 euros can ever be described as affordable. Now, the current exchange rates, that's $98,200. That's not an official Audi sales price, by the way. That's simply me doing really rough maths, what 80,000 euros is in US dollars. So you think it's going to be around that. It'll have, they've confirmed now, a 95 kilowatt hour battery and 3 motors. Unlike Jaguar's I-Pace and 2 motors, the 3 motors will give them torque vectoring, which, like I say, that Audi Quattro heritage, that great handling heritage. It'll charge up to 150 kilowatts if you can find a charger that goes that fast, and it'll give you 80% charge in just half an hour. Now, we also heard something which I hadn't read before or heard before, so maybe this was common knowledge and I hadn't heard it, that it was the Audi e-tron Quattro, which is coming later this year, is going to be using Porsche Mission E mechanicals. And that was new news to me. It was according to Clean Technica. And it makes sense because Porsche and Audi both part of VW, but until now, Porsche have been talking Mission E, Audi have been talking about their Quattro, and I've never at any point heard them say, yeah, we're going to use some Porsche bits inside it. Well, then we heard from Rupert Stadler. He is the CEO of Audi, and he says that they'll be borrowing more than just inspiration and a few bits from their VW brothers and sisters. In fact, they will be borrowing the Porsche Mission E platform, and that is because they're going to make the e-tron GT. And when you look at the pictures of this, which Audi Sport then tweeted, ooh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's really nice. It looks a bit like the Porsche Mission E, if I'm honest with you. It's got the 4-wing rings on the front, which makes it unmistakably that front Audi, which just looks fantastic. Either way, look, it's a 4-door sedan. It's going to have performance to match, and it's a real sports car look. The official Audi Sport Twitter account said this: here's a sneak peek into the electrified future of Audi Sport. The first draft of the prototype Audi e-tron GT. The 4-door Gran Turismo with purely electric drive will be the spearhead of Audi Sport in 2020. Hashtag Audi Sport, hashtag e-tron, hashtag League of Performance. Oh, wow. We can't wait for that. Okay, so we're almost halfway through 2018. It's not long to wait. We want those cars as soon as possible. Well, moving on, but sticking with Porsche and GearBrain, say that Porsche will not be following Tesla's lead by offering free electricity to buyers of its upcoming EVs. Instead, the German automaker says it's going to charge for electricity from day one, and it'll be a similar price to refuelling with gas. And that's an interesting move because with electricity being so much cheaper, it's definitely a source of profit for them. Now, that move is at odds with Tesla, which has offered us free use of their supercharging network and have recently said, and many times said, they don't want to use superchargers as a profit centre. It wants to be added value to buyers of the cars. Now, they only recently transitioned away from a strategy of purely free. Recently, there was the whole S and X buyers are going to have to pay for supercharging, and then, if you get a referral, you won't, and then you get a bit free, and then you'll have to pay. Well, with Model 3, of course, that all changed, and there's no unlimited free charging for Model 3 owners at all. But still, they're not making money out of you. Well, the Porsche Mission E is the 4-seater, 4-door sports car with 2 electric motors, all-wheel drive, 600 horsepower, and a 0 to 60 time to say the official quote of quite below 3.5 seconds. I don't know what that means. Quite below 3.5 seconds. So what? Less than 3 or between 3 and 3.5. They do say that that's going to be the dual motor Porsche Mission E. There'll be a single rear motor Mission E, which would be like the budget version if a Porsche can ever be a budget, but that's going to be coming down the line. Their second car that Porsche are going to release on the same platform was seen at Geneva recently. It's the Cross Turismo. It's the electric car that's going to give you similar performance to the Mission E, but will ride higher and look more like a crossover SUV segment, and it's going to be longer. You can put your skis in for your weekend when you go skiing, as I'm sure you do. I'm away every weekend skiing and cursing that I don't have an EV to put my skis in. Well, Porsche are, of course, part of the Ionity network here in Europe with super fast chargers, soon to be installed with 350 kilowatt charge rates, and in North America, Porsche have now confirmed they're going to be putting those 800 volt chargers into all of their dealerships so they can show off supercharging capabilities, not calling it supercharging by the way, fast charging to prospective Porsche buyers. But those Porsche buyers, can they go back to the Porsche dealerships and charge for free? No. Anyway, moving on to an article from Australia, drive.com.au have helpfully listed out the 7 biggest cars that are keeping Elon Musk awake at night. 7 cars to worry Tesla. I thought I'd run them past you, see what you think. In 7th place, the Porsche Mission E. Yeah, talked about it already. It's not going to be anytime soon. It's 2019. It's a way off, but it's certainly the people who have got enough money to buy a Model S and X who might be looking at a Porsche instead. In 6th place, the Hyundai Kona EV. That is not keeping Elon Musk awake at night 1 minute. And that doesn't mean I don't love it, by the way. In fact, it could be an EV that I would end up owning because I love the look of it. I love the Hyundai Kona EV shape. I saw one in the car park yesterday. I mean, the petrol version, of course. Nice size, nice shape, really wide. Actually, I reckon you could fit 3 adults along in the back of that, shoulder to shoulder, and you'd be fine. And the long-range version of that, 64.5 kilowatt-hour battery, fast charging, up to 100 kilowatts, I think, off the top of my head. I'm probably wrong. I normally am. And great range, great price, being a Hyundai. Yeah, the Kona's a great car. Is Elon Musk worried about it? Not in the slightest. It won't bother him with the Model Y. A Tesla fan will buy the Model Y over a Hyundai Kona. The Jaguar I-Pace in 5th place. Yeah, I'm sure that does bother Tesla because Jaguar are the first company to really design a car from scratch, not start with an existing platform. They started from a blank sheet of paper. What do? All right, cab forward, short stubby nose, nice and long, loads of room, at a price that's cheaper than a Model S. Big battery, 4-wheel drive, and it's on sale now. Unlike a lot of things that get talked about, it's on sale. Yeah, you can get one. Well, the order books are filling up. If you got the money, you can get one. Next on the list, in 4th place, is the Mercedes-Benz EQC. And I get that because Merc, like Jaguar, like Audi, very high-end German quality image. And Tesla need to put to bed all these quality issues, which are starting to gain traction. Now, the EQC is also a way off, 2019. At the earliest, right? So they're not worried about it today, but they know that Mercedes are coming with it. 3 to go, and in 3rd place, the Audi e-tron. QUATTRO, as it's now called, SUV, that we've just talked about. Yeah, sure, that's going to be on the market next year in 2019, but production could start the end of this year. Prototypes are certainly coming along, and if production happens this year, they'll get it on sale this year as soon as possible. In 2nd place, the Volkswagen ID. And again, I'm not so sure. The Volkswagen ID is basically the Golf. And there's a e-Golf which you can buy now, which is a great car. The new version, by the way, great car. The ID is going to be the one that's built from scratch, skateboard design. And will that be competition for the Model 3? I'm not so sure, but they're going to make it in big numbers, according to the announcement recently. In fact, yeah, when you look at that, 20 billion euros worth of battery contracts signed. Not, we're going to do this, it's a press release, we're thinking signed. In China and Europe, North America coming soon. Tesla have $17 billion worth of contracts committed. So VW in one jump just overtook Tesla in terms of their financial commitment to battery contracts. So, yeah, ID will be made in numbers. Do you think it's really going to trouble the Model 3? Because ID will be on sale in 2020. Model 3 by then will be making thousands a week. And finally, number 1 on their list of 7 cars to worry Tesla, they've put a Tesla, the Model 3. And I get it, it's tongue-in-cheek, right? I see what they're saying. Should it worry Tesla? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Tesla early owners are definitely beta testers, but they're having quite a lot of quality issues, more than they would want. And it doesn't help that the software was only finished last week, the final finished version, months after the first public delivery of the Model 3 was December, and the software wasn't complete. It is now. Lots of upgrades coming soon for it. Big dev team working on it. But some of the other things shouldn't really be going wrong that have been going wrong with it. For a company that's been making cars 10 years now, and I'm not just talking about your normal, the panel gap's a bit big on a Tesla, that every Tesla basher goes, the panel gaps are, it's not like a German car. But yeah, there's things going wrong that really shouldn't be going wrong. They'll nail those as soon as possible. Is the Tesla Model 3 keeping Elon awake at night? Undoubtedly. It must be on his mind so much. Right, moving on, final story. And this is one that concerns us if we want to drive on some clean energy. And according to The Independent here in the UK, wind power, it set a brand new record on Saturday, generating 14 gigawatts for the very first time, 37% of the UK electricity. The National Grid Control Room confirmed 13.9 gigawatts, the highest ever metered wind output. 10 a.m. on Saturday was generated, and then by 11, it hit 14 gigawatts. The previous record, just lower than that, in January of this year as well. As more wind farms, offshore wind farms, by the way, come online, that number's only going to go up and up and up. 15% of Britain's electricity last year was from wind, up from 10% the year before. A massive jump. According to a tweet by Sustainable 50/50, on Saturday, wind also produced 22% of Europe's electricity mix. Denmark, 91%. Ireland, 58%. Germany, 55%, the UK we've just mentioned 33%, Spain 31%, Netherlands and 30%, never seen it that high before. And finally, this tweet from a Californian, Adam Browning, talking about Californian solar, and the solar record which was achieved on Saturday is amazing. He says when you factor in 6.3 additional gigawatts of rooftop solar in California that wasn't measured on the official stat. There was a new solar record made recently, and he says the actual figure was 69%. That's right, the world's 6th largest economy in California, at that one moment, 69% of their electricity was coming purely from solar. Good times, he says. I would have to agree. That is a lot of green EV miles being driven. I'd love to spread the word about electric cars. If you can share the podcast, please do, with somebody who might be interested. Listen to every previous episode for free of the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube. As of yesterday, TuneIn. Thank you, TuneIn, for adding us to your platform. And of course, the blog, evnewsdaily.com. You can subscribe, you get it first, you get it free, you get it instantly, and it's a weight off your mind if you hit that subscribe button so you get it every day. It would mean a lot if you could take 2 minutes to rate and review if you would, and if you have an Amazon Echo, we have a skill as well, a flash briefing, if you like, called EV News Daily. And then you can say to your Alexa device, play my flash briefing, and you get me. Right, you can connect with me on iTunes, TuneIn, Google Play, YouTube, or the blog. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you tomorrow.